I was introduced. My name is Usman Memon, a US man. And when you see me in Texas, I'm wearing cowboy boots, so I'm the Indian cowboy. Thank you for hosting us. Very warm hospitality. Had a great time yesterday evening. We are very excited about our partnership with Habber. And as you can see, we don't know the local language, the local culture. In Habber, we have a partner we trust, right? And together, we believe we can bring a lot of value to our customers. So today in this presentation, I share with you what our learning have been. We have done hundreds of mobile and web digital experience engagements over the last 10 years. Today we share with you, both Habber and Streebo, what were some of the learnings. So whether you work with us, you work with someone else, whether you choose IBM technology or non-IBM technology, all these lessons are very important. You will be able to apply them in your business, no matter who you work with. So our goal was to share our learnings with the audience today.
Fernando, is it required to translate? ¿Necesita traducir un poco? So César, ¿puedes traducir lo que está diciendo?
Bueno, al final es un poco reforzar la idea de que comentó Fernando de el porqué del partnership entre Streebo, IBM y Habber, haciendo un poco el hincapié a la fuerza, a la experiencia que tiene Streebo en el mercado de desarrollo de aplicaciones con tecnología de IBM. Así muy de poco resumido para no estar a repetir en todo. Es un poco lo que...
Es una broma muy simpática con su nombre, que empieza por US.
Claro.
Que eres como vivo en Texas, eres el americano más original, es el cowboy indio.
Okay.
Exactamente.
Right. So already I think the partnership and what we have been already introduced, so I skipped the first two slides. What is different about now Habber and Streebo? There are so many mobile providers. What is different about you? So we have a lot of pre-built assets, both for vertical industry, either retail, insurance, life sciences, banking, and so on and so forth.
Es un tema en el que nos parecemos las dos compañías, porque también las dos trabajamos para distintas verticales de negocio.
And we also have horizontal solution, employee self-service, manager self-service, customer self-service. So because we have this pre-built solution, our customers see faster time to market and reduce services cost, reduce solution total cost of ownership, because these solutions are ready.
Aquí, ahí Streebo al final como tiene tanta experiencia a la hora de desarrollar aplicaciones en diferentes mercados, lo que tiene es ese conocimiento, es tener una base preparada para acelerar lo que son las aplicaciones de puesta en producción en función de las áreas y los mercados que cada uno trabaja eso.
And these solutions are not just built, they are actually live at some of the largest customers in the world today. For example, our banking solution is live at Citibank in 7 different countries over Asia Pacific, right from Citi Japan to Malaysia to Singapore. All the entire population is using our omni-channel solution powered by the IBM platform. Right? Same thing with another success story, American Express. Again, an omni-channel experience created by the pre-built solution that we had built on the IBM technology. Right? So you can be assured that whatever industry you come with, if you share with us what specific industry, we can demo some of the specific apps that we have built for those industry to give you ideas as to what other customers are doing in the area.
En este caso lo que comenta Usman es que la experiencia de ellos es tan grande ya a nivel de determinadas industrias que primero tienen varios casos de éxito de comprar un modelo Citibank en relación a están en 7 países utilizando la plataforma de ellos, con la plataforma de IBM, después hablo también de American Express, pero una cosa que era muy destacable es que ellos tienen tanta experiencia de cuando uno tiene un problema de movilidad y te acerca, son capaces de darte soluciones en base a todo lo que ellos han aprendido con clientes muy similares, porque realmente pues después de todo el tiempo que llevan trabajando es difícil que venga un problema que no sea aplicable o asimilable a algo de lo que tengan hecho, con lo cual les resulta muy fácil realizar demos específicas para cualquier tipo de cliente, cualquier tipo de problema, para ir aproximando la solución. Es un desarrollo bastante interesante.
Right, so some more customer success stories, and we have a range of them, but the story is the same. We had our pre-built solution, we work with our partner, we implement the solution, we customize it to fit your needs. We understand that one solution cannot fit everyone. You know, you can walk into a bank branch, even though all the bank do the same function. They do, you know, retail branch, but every retail branch look different, right? Maybe the teller is sitting here, maybe the front desk is here. So we recognize that every company has its own DNA. So we build the solutions in such a way that they can be easily customized. They can be wired up with background, you know, with whatever backend you might have, right? And we have strong middleware integration experience in our partnership with Habber. So whether you're using SAP or Salesforce as your CRM, whether you have mainframes, whatever the case might be, we can tap into the backend and customize the application very, very fast.
Sí, aquí es eso. Aparte, como está diciendo, hay un core, un blog único de aplicación que está desarrollado, que obviamente todos tienen las mismas funcionalidades, pero muchos de los clientes trabajan con sistemas diferentes y aquí esa capacidad de customización, aparte de cosas puntuales específicas que se pueden cambiar. O sea, esto está preparado para acelerar, no para entregar como un libre final, es para acelerar, con lo cual hay una parte de customización y ajuste a cada área, cada cliente con nombre y apellido que está prevista en estas soluciones prehechas.
Right. And a lot of our customers, so I just want to understand, you know, how many of you have actually rolled out any mobility related artifacts, any mobile apps? Have you rolled out anything so far, either mobile web or mobile app?
La idea de...
Within your organization? Okay, so there are a few of them. So this is one of my banking customer in the United States. This is what their application looked like in 2005. Okay, we had to only think about web. That was the only concern. Today, where are your customers? So your customers, you know, are on all these different devices. Now watch, another wearable watch, you know, get added to this. Kiosks get added to this. Media walls get added to this. Wherever your customer is, you need to be there. So think omni-channel, right? So today, customer wake up at 8:30, check the phone, various offer. Maybe go to work, during lunch hour, he got a few minutes, again, you know, maybe he pick up the tablet and check some more offerings, right? Day progresses, he go back. In my case, any major decision is taken by my wife. Yeah, she has the power in the house.
It's easy for you.
Yeah. So I go home, I discuss with my wife, she give me thumbs up. Maybe now I go in and open up new account application, right? Maybe now I get notification on the watch as my wearable that, you know, my account has been, you know, created, right? And then the next day I have now my banking app and maybe I check the balance. So today your customers, your partners, your employees are accessing the same information but through various touch points. And we have to think comprehensive. We cannot think mobile, web, watch. We cannot think like that. We have to think a comprehensive omni-channel solution. This is what our customers are doing today.
Sí, es una realidad que todos no hace falta que entendemos mucho de tecnología, ¿no? Porque nuestro día a día es esto. Las personas están acostumbradas, están acompañando la evolución de la tecnología y cada vez más tenemos acceso a información. Es verdad, por multicanal, pero cada vez más por canales más prácticos, más móviles, más pequeños y más ágiles en realidad. Entonces es una idea del día a día, de nuestro día a día, que las empresas tienen que empezar a pensar en posicionarse en ese camino, porque también nuestros colaboradores son personas, entonces también nuestros hábitos y nuestras formas de trabajar tienen que ajustarse lo más posible a la forma de la gente vivir. Entonces aquí el pie en disponibilizar la información de nuestros sistemas en dispositivos móviles es algo de estrategia que tiene que estar posicionado en las empresas al día de hoy. Porque vamos a agilizar y hay muchos informes de mercado que somos mucho más productivos. Vamos a un caso muy práctico, el smartphones y el email dentro de smartphones. Somos mucho más, no sé si productivos, pero trabajamos mucho más horas, eso sí.
Okay. So as we help a lot of our customers, both HabberTech and Streebo, learn that when you are ready to roll out mobile app, it is like hitting an iceberg. You only see small problem on the top, but there are these lot of other problems that you need to think about when you actually are doing multi-channel applications, right? And this picture, I think, represent that, a lot of other challenges that, customers don't think about on day one. They are only thinking about user experience. But mobile app or multi-channel experience is more than just UI UX. Okay, so what are some of the top lessons learned as we do that? And I will share with you 7 lessons, okay, and I go through it quickly. So we get to the coffee.
We have time.
Okay. So lesson number 1, you think security on day 1, right? Don't make security an afterthought. It cannot be, oh, I have my app out, somebody hacked into it, now I need to worry about security. Don't do that, okay? Companies that have done that, we see in the newspapers, either banks, life sciences company, whether it is Target, retailers, today there are people out there, if you leave your door open, they're going to get in, right? So what is, who's going to be responsible? What is the liability that your organization will carry if you do not think security on day 1?
Sí, la seguridad, lo más importante. Creo que el mensaje ha sido claro. Y es verdad que tenemos que dar información y agilizar la información de nuestros sistemas a plataformas móviles, pero también es verdad que la información que llevamos ahí es muy valiosa, se vale mucho. Entonces la seguridad es un primer punto y una primera vez.
Sobre todo diseñar la aplicación desde el punto de vista de la seguridad al principio. Es importante, no añadirla posteriormente.
So HabberTech, or Streebo, what security features should we look at? Whether you are looking at IBM MobileFirst or some other platform, or whoever your partner is, you need to ask them these questions. Does your app have encrypted offline? Does your app, if somebody loses the device, can I wipe that device off? Can I secure the data on the device, somebody lose it? What are the server side safeguard that you put? Today we see people picking up your phone, they do something, they drop some malicious-ware, they leave the phone as is, they walk away. And we don't even know that our phone is, now in a listening mode and transmitting data to some, third-party server. What kind of technology, whoever your partner is, whoever your technology vendor is, you need to ask them these questions. Are you able to, protect my organization? Will this app, as I give access in an omni-channel world, is my data secure? Yeah. Okay, so security was lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, you have to think UI, UX. And these are 2 different things. User interface is like, if I have to build a building, user interface is what is the color of the wall? What is the color of my, chair? How does my carpet and my ceiling and everything flow? That is user interface. But user experience is different. User experience is your house layout. The Chinese have a word for it called feng shui. Did I say it right? Feng shui. The flow of the house. When I enter, do I see the living room or do I see the storeroom, right? So what is the path of my user? If you're a retail organization, when I come into your store, what is it that you want to show me? Remember, I'm the modern millennium user. My attention span is 2 minutes, sometimes 20 seconds. And if you don't engage me in that 20 seconds, I'm gone to the next app, right? So think user interface and think user experience as 2 different science. Okay?
Sí, aquí es un punto muy importante a la hora de las aplicaciones, que siempre es algo que nos hace pensar mucho. Al final, no solo es importante cómo está construida la interfaz de la aplicación, pero más que la interfaz, la experiencia del usuario con la aplicación también es un punto clave. Al final puede ser un punto decisivo de usar o no usar una aplicación. Entonces, como esto tiende a ser ágil, pues las aplicaciones, el objetivo de la experiencia del usuario de otras aplicaciones tiene que estar adaptada a la agilidad. Tiene que ser cosas sencillas de 2-3 touches y tener mi resultado de información. ¿Vale?
Yeah. So now I share with you an example of what do you mean by good user experience. Some lesson we learned, from one of the implementation. So this is Streebo and Habber pre-built solution. Okay, example of a banking solution. So we log in. Before we only had this much module. Okay, now if I am banking user, I go in and I want to check my account balance. So I go click 1, click 2, click 3. Okay, now I get account information, and this is my latest balance. Now when we did analytics on this, we found out that 70% of the user every day they log in just to check their account balance every day, and about 50 to 60% people just want to see if that latest bill was paid. So why do 3 clicks to get to the function which 70-80% people want to get there? So instead, now we put this on the home. As soon as people log in, you see the recent transaction. So you see your latest balance, you see your bill payment, right? This is example of good user experience, and we learn it from analytics. First we look at the result, where are they clicking? And then you want to change your house or your corporate office. If everybody coming in and maybe they are going to the morning coffee every day, you want to leave the cafeteria in a point where it is easily accessible near the entry. It is like that. So this is a science. User experience, we count the number of clicks it takes to get to a particular function. And you have to pay attention to detail, because if you don't, you lose the customer, right?
I was explaining exactly the same before.
En relación a la aplicación, pues la verdad es que lo que ocurre con estas aplicaciones, nosotros tenemos cierta experiencia, sobre todo capturando la información de los clickstream para ver cómo navega la gente y mejorar la experiencia de usuario en otros aspectos. Y esto es fundamental, el hecho de que las aplicaciones puedan ser tocadas, que la gente, eso no sea estático, que tú puedas modificarlo, entender cómo está comportando tu usuario y facilitar las tareas una vez que yo esté montado es súper importante, porque si no te vas quedando estancado, los problemas se te suman. El hecho de que sea muy fácil realizar este tipo de cambios ayuda muchísimo.
Right. Here's one another example. Same banking solution implemented at American Express. Okay. So you will see that the user interface is completely different. And when I log in, it called multiple backend services and fetch the data from, in this case, a lot of mainframes, a lot of AS400 system. Okay. And see, notice this, that loaded last. When we launched the app first time, when we were doing performance testing, this page load was taking way too long. Why? Because this card is carrying data from 4 different credit cards. This is corporate, for their corporate credit card module. So this was very big web service. It is bringing a lot of data. So what we did, we put like little AJAX calls, so the entire page load very, very fast. The page still load under 2 seconds. But this kind of load, in the back end. Again, example of attention to detail. If you don't do this, and every time the user has to wait for 5-7 seconds to respond, they're gonna go to the app store and give you 1 star right away. And what does that do to your brand name? We have seen some of the biggest companies, Fortune 500 companies, falter. You go out to the app store, you look at some of the biggest companies, they get bad rating. In the old world, when we used to roll out web applications or any other application, the user could only send us the feedback. In today's social world, if you roll out a bad application, everybody will get to know, right? And who is responsible for it now? So this is example of what we are doing with customer to ensure that they get 5-star, 4-star rating, right? Like that.
Sí, aquí vemos varias estrategias de cómo optimizar la experiencia de usuario en aplicaciones. Aquí era un caso práctico de login y carga de información, que vemos 2 tiempos diferentes de espera. La primera de login, la segunda de carga de información en función del login de la persona.
Okay, so we talk about user interface. I show you example. So lesson number 2, UI, UX, pay attention to detail. Lesson number 3, omni-channel. Don't think mobile app, don't think this is my web application code, this is my mobile application, don't think like that. Think omnichannel, single code base. Because if you don't do that, before you know, you will have a lot of different code streams you are managing. One of my very good colleagues, who's the CIO at Verizon Wireless in the US, a telecommunication company, right now the biggest problem Venkat has is he has 4 different teams. One for web, one for iOS, one for Android, and one for Windows. Anytime business asks for one feature, they are doing 4 different builds. Now add the watch to that. Add the kiosk they are placing on the stores. How many different code bases are you going to manage? And how do you keep them consistent? And what is your cost to manage that? So instead, approach that Habber, IBM and Streebo take is you do a single code base. Single code base caters to all different channels, and that is again unique thing about our solution.
Este es un punto siempre muy hablado y muy pensado, y muchos clientes se hacen la pregunta, claro, tenemos multiplataformas en el mercado, tenemos Windows Mobile, tenemos iOS, Android, ¿cómo vamos a hacer? ¿Cuál va a ser nuestra estrategia? ¿No? Lo que os comentaba Usman, y con base en su experiencia, es no desarrollar para una en concreto, es desarrollar lo que en el mundo de aplicaciones se llaman aplicaciones híbridas, que son aplicaciones que el core está ajustado para multiplataforma, ¿vale? Y ahí se desarrolla en un único punto y se despliega para distintas plataformas, ¿vale? El problema que explica Usman es que hay empresas, yo sé que Facebook es así, que gestiona multiplataformas, pero Facebook tiene mucho dinero y puede tener equipos para Android, equipos para iOS, equipos para mobile phone, equipos para BlackBerry. Pero en compañías más pequeñas, si vamos a empezar una estrategia y ya hay soluciones que ofrecen, que dan esa posibilidad, pues vamos a pensar en algo más híbrido, en algo que desarrollemos en un core y que podemos desplegar para todas las soluciones, para todas las plataformas que existen en el mercado.
Okay. Right. My 4th lesson is give control to the line of business. Okay, there are so many mobile app needs today in the organization, and Habber and Streebo and IBM have offerings where your line of business can go in and create applications, create form, and I show you one such example.
Okay. Vamos a ver un caso de crear formularios.
So this is our tool to create for the line of business to come in and create any kind of form they want, right? So I can create a form, I can set up the fields, right? I can wire it up with backend web service, so I can take a form, wire it up with Maximo, SAP, maybe build self-contained form, right? And then I press a button and the form become available.
This is mine, no?
Oh, this is yours. And I show you where the form, how the form show up here. So here, let me stop this. Okay, there you go. Okay. It should come up here any minute. Did I miss something?
No, what's up? No, this one. Efecto demo.
¿Está en la red correcta?
Sí. Which
Yeah.
is your network?
Yeah, it is correct one.
It's correct. Efecto demo, exactamente.
IBM Forum Madrid. Yeah.
Okay, so if you, it sees it, no? This one?
Okay, it should come up now.
It should come up.
It keeps dropping the connection. Okay, so no problem. Huh?
Lo vemos en la siguiente.
Yeah, so I pass this tablet around so you can see some of the form that was created by this tool.
Great.
Okay, so I just pass this around. There are a lot of different insurance forms. Yeah, if you want to open one of them, just click on one of the forms, and this form should load up. There you go. So if you can just pass it around as I show
Es
this.
una aplicación para acelerar la construcción de formularios, incluso por personas con menos skills informáticos que tienen la capacidad de construir formularios.
Yeah. So this mobile forms product, you can do e-signatures, you can do hybrid features, and your line of business can actually create app. You don't have to hire IT developers and have to depend on them, right? So this makes really your line of business cost go lower and takes the workload off IT.
I was explaining this before.
Okay, so we talk about security, we talk about UI UX, we talk about omni-channel, we talk about give control to your line of business. These are our learning so far. You want to build scalable application, right? Because mobile app, the number of devices often that come in, and the speed that it come in, because sometimes you have 3G speed. Sometimes we work in Asia or Mozambique or Africa, they have 2G speed. Sometimes they have limited connectivity. So this is almost going back to 1997, 98, when we used to have dial-up modem line. Remember that, all that sound? So now in the mobile world, we have to see how much data package is coming in. So build scalable application. And for Europe, it is very important to think localization, right? Depending on where your audience is. Okay, my fifth lesson is testing. Before, when we used to do web application, my thumb rule was if I estimate 1,000 hours for development, my thumb rule is 25 to 30% of that time go to testing. Maybe I allocate 250 or 300 hours for testing and it worked fine. In the mobile app world, that is not true. So we took some project, made bad estimate, and then the project got overstretched. Of course, we absorb all the cost, but our lesson learned is one of the two. Either you give budget a lot of time for testing, because before in web application, we are only testing Firefox or Safari or some kind of browser. Now, we have to test all the different devices, all the different real estate, if you're serious about your application. Plus, you have to do penetration testing, compatibility testing. You want to do security testing, so nobody break into the device with different OS and such. So either automate that. So we use IBM MobileFirst platform that has test workbench, which is automated testing. So we just do the test script once and we put in number of device, and maybe Bruno showed that to us. Then the entire testing suite got automated. So whether you are working with IBM and Habber or you're working with someone else, make sure you ask them, how do you do your testing? Do you have automated testing? Because if you don't, your testing cost will go very, very high.
Sí, hay otra parte importante también es hacer el testing de las aplicaciones previamente de pasar a producción. Lo que comenta Usman es que, como trabajamos con la solución de IBM que ya está preparada para hacer ese tipo de cosas de testing, pensar, aunque trabajéis con otros fabricantes, pensar siempre cómo podéis, qué tipo de solución nos dan para hacer los testings de las aplicaciones. Aparte, no solo testing de seguridad, pero testing de interfaces, testing para las distintas plataformas que existen, ¿vale? Hay una cantidad de tests que hay que hacer para garantizar calidad en las aplicaciones.
Metodológicamente, en todos los desarrollos que hacemos y todas las empresas que estamos implicadas en desarrollo, siempre hay en toda metodología una parte importante dedicada a test, corrección y pruebas. Pero un punto muy importante, que es lo que ha comentado Usman, es que el porcentaje de tiempo, de esfuerzo dedicado a testing en el tema de mobile es enorme y debe ser enorme. Y quien no lo considera enorme es porque no ha hecho mucho. Claro. Porque comprar todos los puntos que he comentado de seguridad, etcétera, más lo que es el propio dispositivo, probarlo en múltiples, o te ayudas con un sistema como el de IBM que automatiza o estás perdido.
Okay, my last two lesson is, once you build a house, and if you think, or you build a mall, and if you think people are just going to walk in, you are in for a big surprise. So when you launch your mall, make sure you do a lot of marketing around it. And Habbertech and Streebo have created an offering for launch and adoption. Whether you are launching your new web application or whether you're launching your new mobile app, you have to think awareness, acquisition, you have to measure, and then you have to grow. Okay, so what are some of the things that we do when we help our customer launch? We do email flyers, we do create banners, we create end user training manuals, so when app gets launched, people get help guide. We do a lot of insight analytic and tied back to the KPI of the executive that own the application. So this step is very important, after you have finished building the app, and you have to plan for it, you have to budget resource for it. That is my 6th lesson, and then I have one more.
Bueno, aquí un poco de las actividades tácticas que tenemos que presentar para afrontar un proyecto de movilidad. Bueno, y Usman habla de un poco de varias actividades de formación a los usuarios, ¿vale? De presentar demos, y hacer campañas, enviar emails, hacer push notifications también, un conjunto de actividades que están divididas en estas dos fases del pre y del post de lanzamiento de la aplicación.
Sí, la parte fundamental es lo de siempre, la gestión del cambio, convencer a la gente de que eso es lo que vas a montar e incluirlo dentro del desarrollo. Y después lo que comentábamos antes, el hecho de capturar el comportamiento de los clientes para mejorar nuestra aplicación, para de alguna manera saber cómo vamos a ir mejorando nuestra usabilidad, que es fundamental, es la parte post.
That's right. Okay, my last lesson, important one, is if you just build a house or a corporate office, and if you don't measure, you will never be able to improve. I have built a lot of products in my lifetime, and I will tell you that I never got it right on the first time. So you launch a product, you measure, you improve. You measure and then you improve. Slowly your product gets better and better, and it get attraction. Right? Some statistics, if you don't pay attention to this, you get bad rating. Right? So you have to not just think just analytics, but you have to think digital analytics, maybe even digital intelligence, where we bring in not only your analytics, but we combine it with market data. Habbertech has that expertise of big data. So we combine and give you intelligence as to what should we do in the app different. Right? So some of the sample analytics we do with our customer is we measure all of these. Okay, again, whether you work with Habbertech or you work with some other partner, make sure you ask them, how do you do analytics? What all do you measure? Right? And these are the important things that we have to measure. Not only do we measure, right, we give them report. Right? So
Yeah. Aquí sí es fundamental. Al final, si no lo definimos, el ciclo siempre es escuchar cómo están las aplicaciones y ir mejorando. Tener información en real time de cómo están yendo nuestras aplicaciones, cuáles son las que más problemas están provocando, cuáles son las aplicaciones que más crash tienen, cuáles son las aplicaciones que más tráfico llevan, que consumen de nuestra compañía, de nuestro sistema. Entonces es muy importante tener esta visibilidad también para poder mejorar el servicio y para poder mejorar. Es una parte de la mejora de experiencia del usuario. Al final es el usuario, dejamos el usuario solo utilizar por sí propio y nosotros estamos en background a analizar cómo él está trabajando y a mejorar el servicio continuamente sin que él se dé cuenta. ¿Vale?
Un punto también súper divertido en relación a las aplicaciones móviles de hoy en día es que somos clientes esclavos de esto. Es decir, si nosotros convencemos a un cliente de que use una determinada aplicación, la cantidad de información que registramos en su comportamiento es brutal. De hecho, conocéis que hay negocios, nosotros hemos trabajado con algunos negocios que son ad servers, que lo que hacen es producir apps gratis para que la gente se las baje, simplemente para mantener justo lo que decía Usman, todo el registro de cómo usan esas aplicaciones, la linternita, el horóscopo. Entonces tienen un montón de información que tú aceptas, y ese aceptar le manda el geoposicionamiento, te manda todo lo que hace, estás radiografiado, de tal forma que esa gente después sabe todo lo que estás haciendo. Y eso lógicamente nosotros también lo queremos hacer con las aplicaciones que colocamos al cliente, o incluso a personal interno. Y eso es lo que decía Usman, que al margen de tener todas las clásicas estadísticas bueno, si falla, si no falla, si va bien, si va mal, cuántos clics salgo, el bounce rate que entro, salgo y tal, al margen de eso, vamos a aplicar analítica específica para traer toda la información de comportamiento de la gente que está usando, de modo que podemos tanto analizarlos a ellos como mejorar nuestra aplicación. O sea, ya también entramos aquí en lo que es analítica profunda, que es la parte de partnership que también involucra más adelante de meter nuestras habilidades de inteligencia de negocio y big data en esta parte.
Yeah. So we do a lot of analytics as just as a service. So not only will we pull report, but we give our customer insight into the report. What does this report mean? Oh, there is a decrease in the number of visitor. Oh, maybe after page 2 of the registration page, people drop. Or that example in the banking solution, 70% people just want to check their account balance. Those are the kinds of things we measure, and we give our customer insight. And not only insight, we give them action item. Oh, marketing department, maybe we need to change the call to action button. Or maybe we need to change the color or graphics. For the IT, oh, look, there is so much traffic coming from the Windows tablets now. Maybe we need to optimize our app for Windows as well. So those kind of, so we not only, HabberTech will take your, not only help you implement analytics, but we draw the report, we build inference, and we suggest action item. So we go back, we tweak the product, measure again, tweak the product, measure again, and slowly you will see your product will, come out thumbs up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was playing this before. Es lo que estaba diciendo de tener esta idea de cuáles son más, aquí Usman dio un ejemplo de la plataforma Windows que más tráfico estaba utilizando, pues es quizás el IT tiene que pensar, bueno, si estoy teniendo más tráfico de aquí, tengo que ver si estoy siendo performante, no sé si la palabra existe, o si es un extranjerismo, performante para este tipo de plataforma. Vamos a ver si estamos dando un servicio, ahora está viendo aquí más tráfico, vamos a preparar la aplicación para esto. Entonces es un poco el objetivo que estaba explicando antes, de estar escuchando constantemente qué está pasando con nuestras aplicaciones para poder accionar.
Okay. So, to summarize, right, what are the top lessons we learned? And you should ask this to any solution provider you work with. Is your application secure and scalable? Is your application omni-channel but single code base? I don't want multiple code base because this become very expensive for my company otherwise. Do you have strong UI UX? What do you think of UI and UX separately? You have to ask this question. Do you have any pre-built solution that my line of business can manage, like we show you with mobile forms? That way my IT guys are not always making changes. And do you have something pre-built? Because if you build something from scratch, it takes you much longer. We all know that. So instead, do you have pre-built solution? Do you have automated testing? Again, if you don't think, testing cost will go very, very high. What are you doing for app adoption and governance, right? And last, what kind of measurement have you built into these apps? Ask this question to any vendor you work with, right? And make sure that this learning can be applied across technology.
Okay.
So, where do we go from here, right? For those of you who are thinking mobile apps, who are thinking omnichannel experience, HabberTech and Streebo have an offering called Digital Experience Assessment, where we take any application, any old application or any new use case, and we give you a report card, right? We check what your competition is doing, we check what your current application look like, and we have an app exchange offer. We take your old application in, whether it is written in VB, whether it is .NET, whether it is web application, whether it is green screen, we take old application back in, and HabberTech and Streebo will give you brand new application which will be multi-channel in exchange. So give us your old car, we give you a new 8-cylinder car that will have mobile, social, analytics, all those best practices built in, right? And we often, if we get long-term partnership, we often do the migration at very subsidized cost, right? Like that.
Me gusta la última expresión de Usman, para ese plan pibe, de darles tu coche viejo y nosotros os damos un coche nuevo. This is a special plan here in Spain for change the old car for new car.
There is.
The name is Pibe. The name is Pib, so it's very funny because I remember this.
Okay.
Give me your old car and I give you your new car.
Right.
Pero
And
si es una oferta realmente buena. El hecho de que seamos capaces ahora mismo de recoger todas las aplicaciones que hay en el mercado, perdón, y que tengan ese background viejo, difícil de mantener, sin mucha habilidad, y lo refundemos y podamos ofrecer ese tipo de aplicaciones ya totalmente transformadas.
That's right. And both for old applications and even for old forms. So if you have PDF forms, if you have paper-based form, if you have desktop-based form, give that to us. Show that to us. We will take 1 or 2 of your forms, no charge. We give you on multiple mobile device. And you show it to your line of business. If they like it, if that solution show value for your company, then maybe we help you migrate all the other form. Or we give you the tool, what I show you, and your line of business can actually go create the form on their own, right? So we also have a form, HabberTech and Streebo also have a form exchange offer. Give us your old forms, we give you brand new multi-channel form with analytics built in.
Ahí, bueno, Usman está hablando de los formularios que fueron pasando. No sé si usted ha visto los formularios que fueron pasando. Tenemos ahí un tema porque
Yo lo he dejado bloqueado y por eso lo he dejado activado.
Ah, vale. You need to unlock it.
Yeah, that's Alzira's.
Alzira's, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I encourage you to check out the forms. Lot of the forms are already out there. See if one of the use case makes sense to you. Go ahead.
Ellos lo que hay es un acelerador de creación de formularios que está preparado incluso para a la gente de negocio poder hacer formularios de forma rápida. Lo que dice Usman es que podemos acelerar y ofrecernos esa herramienta para que podáis ya empezar con un paso básico que es transformar lo que son formularios que se usen en papel, en PDF, etc. y transformarlo en este tipo de formularios que están preparados para aplicaciones móviles y empezar a usar y empezar a ver si tiene aceptación dentro de vuestra organización o no.
Right. And
Se queda un poco...
Se queda...
okay. Right, but I'll have to check the connection. But I fixed this and I show it to you guys. So again, this report that we do, the digital experience assessment that we do is complimentary, right? So there's no charge, for us that. And then you can contact our colleagues at Habber, HabberTech, Caesar, Fernando, right? And we all the local IBM team in case you have any queries. Thank you. I take any questions. I think we have just maybe 1 minute left before 11.
Okay. I think we have a question
Towards the end.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.